Welcome to this week's Forex Forecast. Let me know in the comments down below what pairs you're watching this week, and don't forget to check out the YouTube or Patreon membership for my daily chart analysis. Alright, starting things off with the US dollar. The past week, the institutions got rid of 3,500 longs, and they also got rid of 2,000 short positions in last week's Forex Forecast video, which I highly recommend you check out after this Forex Forecast so you can see the accuracy of my analysis. I predicted that price would be going up to this daily area of supply. Now I am suspecting we see downward pressure coming off of this daily area of supply, and what I'm watching over here is on the 4-hour chart. We have significant 4-hour demand right here, and if this gets removed like this, then I do think we will be seeing new lows possibly formed on the dollar, and that would basically be daily supply reacting and dropping. So I'm waiting to see what happens around this 4-hour zone. We've already seen a significant move up from the zone, so now it is tested, and if it comes down and tests lower, it's most likely we'll be breaking that, and we could see the dollar actually continue to fall and make a new daily downtrend here. So that's what I'm waiting for on the DXY. EURUSD, the past week the banks added 7,500 longs and they got rid of 11,000 short positions, and that is as we are sitting in this daily area of demand. That's very significant. If you look on the screen now, you can see that I predicted that price would be coming back to this daily area of demand in last week's Forex Forecast, and now we are inside of it. So if you wanted to get in long and involved in the euro to the long side, you could certainly be looking for confirmation here. If you are going to get in long, I would still target 1.15. If you're going to short, which I don't really recommend right now, I would target around 1.26. So to look for confirmation here, let's go over to the 4-hour chart and we can see what that might look like. So if we pull up the 4-hour chart here, we have a pretty significant area of supply right here. So for me, if I don't really trade confirmation anymore, but if I were trading confirmation, what I would wait for is for this 4-hour supply to be taken out. This one to be removed as well would be even better. So something like that. Maybe there will be a demand zone here and you can get that 4-hour confirmation. And if you're a Patreon member or YouTube member, you will get that zone if that is indeed what happens. So kind of just waiting to see what plays out here on the euro. What I'm personally waiting for is 4-hour trends because I only really trade the 15-minute time frame. But like I said, definitely a confirmation trade is possible here coming off of this significant area of daily demand. All right, on to gold. The past week, the banks added 426 longs and they added 5,956 short positions. If you are going to get in long, I would target 1850. To the short side, I would target right before this daily area of demand at about 1823. I will show you guys a trade that I took in gold this week. As you know, gold did have a nice little breakout. So at this point, we had a 4-hour uptrend, and I said in last week's Forex Forecast, I was waiting for that to happen, and then I would look for 15-minute pullbacks. And that is exactly what I did right here. This is the little trade that I took right here. 15-minute little pullback to demand, and I ended up getting a 2.5 to 1 risk reward. So first winner of the year. I am in total right now. I am up 2.5%. So it's a nice little trade. Nice to get a winning trade under your belt, especially at the start of the year. So now there's a couple options here. You could wait for this daily demand to be hit. Look for that 1-hour confirmation coming off of this daily area of demand. But what I'm personally waiting for is exactly what I did last week. I'm waiting for this alert to go off, which will create a 4-hour and a 1-hour uptrend, and I'll be looking to do that exact same set and forget entry type on gold. So just waiting patiently on gold. Like I said, you can also look for 1-hour confirmation inside that daily area of demand. USDJPY, the Japanese yen. The past week, the banks got rid of 21,000 longs, and they also got rid of 14,000 short positions, which leaves them at 92% long, even though it's falling. If you look at last week's Forex Forecast here, I talked about how price was going to come up to this daily area of supply, and if you look here, price barely got to my zone and reacted perfectly off of it. So that is the power of supply and demand analysis. And if you want these zones on a regular basis, certainly check out the Patreon or YouTube membership. It's only $5 cap per month. You can get my zones. You can use them in your trading. It's very, very helpful. Definitely find a lot of use out of that. So links are in the description. I hope to see you guys there. Definitely check it out. So now if you are looking to trade USDN, if you're going to get in long, I would have the same target before this daily supply at 115. If you are going to short, I would target 113. What I'm personally waiting for is for a new low to be broken here. So this 4-hour demand to be removed, which will create that 4-hour downtrend. then I will be looking for 15-minute set and forgets to the downside. But I will not be looking for that until we get a new downward trend here on the 4-hour. One thing to consider, which makes me a little nervous about doing that, is the fact that USD yen is on a weekly uptrend, and we are inside of weekly demand as we are speaking right now. So it's a little risky, but this zone isn't that great, so that's why I feel somewhat comfortable possibly day trading to the short side. But all in all, it's not the greatest idea. Technically speaking, you could look for 4-hour confirmation coming off of this weekly area of demand, and what that would look like would be for something like this, where we get the removal of this 4-hour supply zone here, maybe some sort of demand below, and something like that. That's another thing you can use my Patreon or YouTube membership for. You'll get that 4-hour zone if that is indeed the case. So just kind of waiting patiently here on the end. I'm going to probably set an alert at the low here so I can be alerted when we make a new low. GBPUSD, the British pound. The past week, the banks added 9,200 longs and they got rid of 19,665 short positions. We are still inside of this daily area of demand here, so it would make me a little nervous shorting right now as well. If you are going to get in long, I would target 1.375. Short, I would target about 1.346 roughly. You could, if you are bearish the dollar, which I am, you could be looking for 1-hour confirmation coming off of this daily area of demand. Haven't really seen any of that take place just yet, but what that will look like is your removal of this 1-hour zone here. Then maybe you can get involved to the long side, but it's all going to depend on what the DXY does. So if you skip the US dollar analysis at the beginning, go back, check that out. That is what I'm relying on here. Even though I don't really trade confirmation, that's what you guys should be checking out too. We do have a little bit of a 4-hour downtrend here as well, so certainly be very, very patient. If you are going to look for confirmation, you probably want to see this downward trend line / momentum line removed before possibly placing a buy order. And like I said, shorting might not be the best idea, since we do have it prices in daily area of demand. But ultimately, it's all going to depend on the dollar. If the dollar gets weaker, then we could see the pound go up. All right, USDCAD. The past week, the banks got rid of 9,300 long positions and they added 5,500 short positions. As you can see in last week's forecast, our target was hit at 1.246. And look at how respected this demand zone is and my targets, right? That is the power of supply and demand. Not only you don't have to trade supply and demand, but your targets should be obviously right before a demand zone or a significant supply zone. So certainly mark those targets on your chart from my videos. It can certainly help you with your trading. If you are going to get in long, I would target 1.26 right before this daily area of supply, just like we did down here with demand. The target was right here and it was hit perfectly. To the short side, I would target 1.246, would be the same target as last week. There is daily supply here. If you are bearish the dollar, you could certainly look to short this daily area of supply, but I would only look for confirmation. And right now we have a 1-hour uptrend. So to get that confirmation, first we're going to need to see price actually contact the daily area of supply that's up here. Hopefully we'll get something like this, where we'll have a very clean uptrend and then a very clean break of that trend, possibly leaving a supply zone here like that to possibly short for confirmation. If you don't know what I'm talking about for confirmation, check out my tips playlist. There's a full video on confirmation in there if you aren't really sure. And if you have any questions about confirmation, leave them in the comments down below. And real quick, if you are enjoying this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me, or at least leave me a comment, let me know that you made it this far so far. I always appreciate the I don't want to call you guys fans, but the people that are actually watching my videos and are following my analysis. Really appreciate you guys. So let me know in the comments if you made it this far. The past week, the institutions, they got rid of 3,300 longs, and they also got rid of 6,364 short positions. We are in this daily area of demand. Not a huge fan of this demand zone here, but you could technically be looking for confirmation coming out of here. If you are going to get in long, you could target all the way up here at 0.73, but it might be best to actually target like 0.73 right here, right before this high. To the short side, you could target 0.70. What I'm personally waiting for, since I am bearish the dollar, I am waiting for all these highs to be removed, or possibly, get some sort of 4-hour uptrend like this going, and then I might look to get into the long side. Not really interested in going long the dollar into the DXY supply. So I'm just being patient on a lot of these pairs, especially the Aussie. We're pretty far away from the high that we just formed, so I'm going to have to show my patience. But technically, you could look for confirmation in that daily area of demand. Not a huge fan of it. I wouldn't really recommend it. I wouldn't really feel comfortable buying until we remove this 1 hour area of supply right here. USDCHF, the Swiss franc. The past week, the banks got rid of 496 longs, and they also got rid of 3,600 short positions. If you are going to get in long, I would target right before this daily supply at 0.922. To the short side, I would target around 0.906. We do have a daily downtrend here, so you could definitely be looking to trade to the short side. I personally, I wouldn't feel very comfortable getting in long on the USD Swiss right now. So what I'm waiting for personally is, since we have a daily downtrend as well, I'm waiting for this low to be removed right here. And I'm actually going to set an alert on this trend line right here, so that when this alerts me, I will know that we'll have a 4 hour downtrend. Then I can be looking for 15-minute set and forgets. If you don't know what set and forget trading is, check out my tips playlist. There's another video in there about set and forget trading, because at that point we'll have a 4 hour and a 1 hour downtrend, and I'll be looking for those 15-minute pullbacks. And the fact that the daily trend is also down, it even just adds to my odds. So hopefully we start to see the dollar fall, and that is the case, because I certainly don't feel very comfortable getting in long USD Swiss right now. All right, last but not least, crude oil. The past week, the banks added another 18,808 longs, and they got rid of 6,468 short positions. We almost reacted off my daily demand zone right here. So in my opinion, I'm only looking for longs on oil. I've been bullish oil this whole time. So that's why I think that everyone should be watching these videos. So definitely share them with your friends if you see the accuracy of my predictions. If you are going to get in short, I would target $80. To the long side, I would target 87. Very important factor about oil here. We just broke out of here. We just created a new high, which created that weekly uptrend. Again, we were a little sideways during this period of time, but since we made a new high, that means we have a new weekly uptrend. So to me, oil looking very, very bullish. It does not mean we won't see a pullback to this weekly area of demand. I'll be extremely interested in acquiring a position in oil down here at about $77.5 a barrel. So I'm either waiting for that to happen to pull back to weekly demand, or what I'm waiting for simply is for this high to be removed. Like I always say, once this high is taken out, we'll have a 4 hour trend, weekly trend, 1 hour trend, 15-minute trend. Everything's trending up, and I'll be looking for those discounted buys in demand on a 15-minute time frame. So just waiting very patiently here in oil, not looking to get involved just yet. To me, there's no evidence that this supply is going to be removed until it is actually removed. So once that happens, like I said, I'll be interested in hopping on long on oil. Hopefully you guys found this weekly Forex forecast helpful. If you did, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like and check out the Patreon or YouTube membership if you need help finding your supply and demand zones. It's only $5 CAD per month. Hope to see you guys there, and hope to see you in the next video.